Hi there, Leo. This is Kim with your next 3-day messages here. I have the cheesiest message that came through right before your reading. It was a song that was reminding me of something I listened to when I skated at the skate rink when I was little. There was a part in the song. The song's called "Good Vibrations," and it goes, "Are you ready for this?" Dun 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 dun. Look, I won't even go out. Are you ready for this? So the message is, in a very cheesy 90s way, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this good vibration? All right. I am. I think Leo is. Yeah. Bring it. And some skates. That would be fun to go skating again. Anyway, I really appreciate you being here, Leo. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you're doing well. Let me know where you're watching from too, or any comments you have on the reading itself. Find them very interesting. Unless you're just going to tell me that I have a bad singing voice when I do stuff like that. If you're going to say that, I've heard enough of those comments. I'm good. I have to relay the message. The only way I could do it was that. So, for Leo, what's going on? Spirit guides, angels, already tapped in. Let me know. Oh, tapped in. Wow, okay. I was thinking about this card the other day. So what happened was I was meditating like in the sun, for a little while and disconnecting with everything. And I was listening to the insects buzzing, and the Spirit gave me that message of to remember what it was like as a child when other kids could be playing around you, but you would be outside and something would catch your attention, like the buzzing of a bee, and you could block out everything and be totally present in that beautiful moment. Everything else seems to go silent, and you just are immersed in this beautiful childlike innocence. And they were saying to tap into that more, that present. You're really present in these moments that could be something really big like that, actually, to get tapped back into. And maybe that's why the song came out that I associate with my childhood, like 9 years old, 10 years old. So there's something here about tapping into your inner child, not just for the playfulness of it, but that comes with it, but because of how present you were. How present you were. Be like a child. Oh, that's the spark of light. It's the spark of light. It also is the spark of life, too. Little things like that. Yeah, complete delight. There's some hope coming in here for you all. There's hope within this spark of light that you're going to be able to see, notice, or tap into. Hope during a dark time is hope during a dark time. Oh, yeah, we have something destined here. Conjunction. This card means eternal love, but it is a destined uniting of two souls for whatever reason, really. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic, but it kind of leans that way in the guidebook when you're looking at it. So there is a feel-good energy that allows you to be totally and completely who you are, naturally who you are, and it's meant to come together in this lifetime, I feel. I feel like it's a connection that will be a spark of light here. And we do have the sun right in the middle of that eternal child. Oh, look what we have in the bottom. Venus. love, Aphrodite, it's amore. Oh, the great work, the new pearl. So you'll be stepping into some sort of very loving experience here coming up. And I think it's because you have done the great work. And now on to the part where, like if a person said, I saved the best for last, in a sense, like that's the feeling I get from this, is like, after all of the things that you have been through, this is something you're going to cherish, and it is a new experience here. Something you will love. I mean, Venus, pleasure, love, joy, happiness. Are you ready for this? Right? Even the happiness card, still on the bottom of the deck from Capricorn's reading, but happiness. Are you ready? Okay, let me get a sip of coffee. Day 1, day 2, day 3 energies, and day 1 is when you're viewing this. So you could be looking at this on a Monday. And I don't know how to say it like that, but on a Monday, and it will still apply for your 3 days from that point on. And that's how I've designed it, and that's how my intention is set when I'm doing these. Five of Cups, what's this? Past. It's this past stuff. This is the stuff that you're holding against yourself, I feel. Yeah, I feel like there is something that you're holding against yourself, where you're saying that for some reason you feel like you're to blame for some sort of major disappointments here. And no matter what the case of that, you have to move on from mistakes, from regrets. You have to figure out how to free yourself from any guilt or shame, because if you don't, you're going to see it in projection all around you. So heal it within yourself. Heal this within yourself. Like you owe it to yourself to move on from this heavy energy that you're still thinking of or still holding on to. Tap back into the innocence of your childhood if you need to. You should do that anyway. So this might be about healing that part of ourselves. Healing the parts that maybe started or were rooted in us not accepting something about ourselves because of being taught that we should be shameful, or we should, whatever it is, whatever wounds that have occurred that lead to other things in our life. Like, it's time to really get deep and heal those things, I think. Look at how beautiful communication. I love this telephone. I used to love old telephones like this. I don't really remember them too much. And in the 80s, we had big chunky ones, you know, big plastic chunky ones. Some of our grandparents might have had ones like this. Yeah, with the little, I do remember the dial, but ours was plastic. Everything plastic. Anyway, that's gorgeous. So telephone says connection, communication, conversation, getting through, two-way street, message, vocal, loud and clear, reaching out, notification, throat chakra, inner voice, and rings a bell. Ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell. Oh, we're uncertain about this. Okay, this is how we're feeling. Deep down, we're really uncertain. We're uncertain whether or not Okay. Oh, let's just go there. We're uncertain as to whether or not this stuff is coming for us or not, or if we're being fantastical, or if we're thinking of that something could exist, but maybe wondering if it's just us. And I think it does exist. I think it wouldn't pop out here as your message if it didn't. But I do think that you've probably led a life of, I feel like there's been a lot of letdowns here, and you weren't sure maybe if there was the right someone out there, or if there was just, if everything was going to be okay. Like, it's an uncertain time, right? But I feel like this is talking about the big majority, like uncertain as to whether or not you're going to be in that state of happiness and love. And I think you will, because then right beside the uncertain card is happening soon. So the event in question will develop or unfold soon. So I have the Magician or the Mage and the Ace of Swords. They're pointing out to me in an airplane here with this Ace of Swords. So travel, rising above, taking off. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. They always remind me of the Four of Wands energy when I see this card. You are manifesting. There's doubt on whether or not what you're trying to manifest will ever come about. I get that, but you're still in the Magician energy. Like, you still haven't stopped or anything like that. There's just what is that? The voice in our head. It could be the wounded inner critic. I'm going to give it a name. Yeah, I think something is going to manifest for you, and I think that you will have a crystal clear idea that some sort of success is actually manifesting in your life. And this is just the start of it. Like, are you ready for this? That message coming through is you're going to have success, little ones at first, especially when you're tapped into that energy of working with the universe and manifesting. From here, there, anywhere, you're just open to abundance, however it wants to come into your life. When you do that, you'll start to get a lot of different ways that come in that bring you exactly what you wanted. And so there is something that exactly that you're wanting, that you're manifesting, and pretty soon you will know that without a shadow of a doubt. It will just be these little things that get bigger. They start to get bigger, and the biggest thing I feel like is going to be a significant love conjunction, something that's divine. It's fated. It's destiny. It's part of your destiny. Honestly, if you've had a lot of hard things that you've had to go through, I can see you as a soul saying, I will only go through this and that and this and the other if I have this good thing in my life at some point. And so I see that as like transpiring for you here. At least that's my rationale, human side coming out to me as to why we would accept some hard missions here. Okay, so the Hermit and the Queen of Swords. Look at these swords. Clarity of thought, clear mind, dedicated, determined, focused, and lots of self-reflection. You really know who you are. You know your demons pretty well too. They're right here. There's the light. It's the light for the cigarette, but it's supposed to represent like the star that you find, right? So you found it. Okay, find this within yourself. You find this tenacity. It's not cold. It's just a person knowing what they want at this point. And it's clarity on what you must do to achieve that. There's a huge diamond around her neck that I've never noticed before now. And that crown is like floating above her crown chakra, like where her 8 and 9 chakras would be. And so that is, I feel like that's also saying that you are tapped into those chakras energies. So you are filtering out the noise and the mess energies. You are only taking in what is best for you. and you're tapped into your life purpose, your work. You have a very strong connection with your soul and with higher frequencies when those chakras are just doing well and flowing well. They're always there, but as to whether or not the energy is going through it, you have this, I love that. You have this sword. I'm just noticing some different things on this. You have a sword. First of all, she's painting. She's creating something. We don't see the canvas. It could be anything. And the sword is halfway in water. So there is this logic, this rational mind of, yes, you have a big heart because you're a Leo. You're ruled by the heart. So, but you're taking that into consideration and you're connecting the two. You've heard of connecting the brain with the heart while you're making a decision, while you stay focused. There's that connection. So you're using both. And I feel like you're wise and making really good decisions here. Okay. Yeah, you might be feeling this pull to stay a little bit more by yourself or alone at this time. Or there might be some sort of pull for you to be more independent. Kind of like a reclaiming power within the sovereignty. To the best of our ability here. But the cat is saying on this card, disinterested, unflappable, unaffected, disengaged, calm, and cool. It's disengaged to me. It's disengaged because I saw the filtering out of all of the noise into your crown chakra. So that's extremely good because there's a lot to filter out nowadays, isn't there? Within a few weeks, the situation or event in question will develop or unfold in a matter of weeks. Well, now that just makes me want to pull some more cards, so we will definitely pull more cards here. Oh, wow. Fated, fortuned. Yeah. There's a song, Fortune Faded. Is that the song? It's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, it's about psychics and about tarot cards and stuff. Anyways, I don't know how it goes right now because I can't remember. But the Wheel of Fortune is that the wheel is turning and it's in your favor here. So if you were down, you can expect to be back up. But this is also something kind of, wow, completely new. Big energy here, Leo. What is going on? Big turn of events. Everything that was not solid, everything. Oh, this is like you totally letting it all fall down, even if it's inside of ourselves, breaking it all apart so it can come back together without any kind of false identities attached to ourselves or without any darkness, resentment, sadness, bitterness, hurt still lodged that we have to have released. I think that tower is like being beamed with a lot of light and it's shaking everything up. It's mixing it all up. Like I said, there might be a lot to filter. But I'm seeing this as a good thing for you because it needs to happen so that the wheel can turn in a different direction. And I think you're going to love the new direction. Yeah, checkered flag. You'll be waving the checkered flag. It's the conclusion, the outcome, the finale. It says, in the finale, it's like Leo saying, I'm going to let it all fall down. I'm going on my wheel. Going to have some good fortune here. So you'll be feeling relieved. This is a sense of big time achievement. Big time achievement. You have the Castle card. You're going to have a lot of pride here and be recognized for something that you are doing, for the way that you have built or cultivated something of yours, some manifestation of yours that is, it's solid here. It's solid here. Praise for achievements, wealth, legacy, power, prestige, timeless, it says. Oof. Okay. What's this? What's this? What's the sun? It's the sun. So, big energy out here. So many major arcana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana in a very small spread. And this is you. This is you being in your power. This might be suggesting the season coming that is you too, right here. Leo season. Okay, so I'm picking up on confidence here, and that information that you kind of needed to be certain about, that some sort of happiness is coming in, something that you're due, I would say overdue to experience this type of happiness. It's coming. And there's people on a rooftop. They're already at a pretty high place, but they're pointing at you here, Leo, because you're in the helicopter. You're even higher. You're the sun. You're leading. In some way, you're leading, you're pioneering. So if you're uncertain, I mean, your card's wanting to come out to tell you that you don't need to be uncertain, that this is something that's coming in. Oh, what will help them be crystal clear about this, other than the sun and the Ace of Swords? What else will help them know and be crystal clear? When you ask yourself, what do you feel like is true? And then you trust your intuition from that point. Trusting your intuition more and more is what this journey, because it came out like this, is what the journey is about. You just need to ask yourself, why do I feel like something really good is coming into my life? Or why do I feel like something is fated to happen and it's actually really good? Well, it's because it is. You're the high priestess. You will know. 4 of Cups on the bottom. Tell me about their day 2 of reflecting, concentrating. Ace of Swords twice. Ooh, 3 of Cups here on the bottom, and I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles be poking out too. All right. This is where you get that clarity. When you take that time to really figure out what's going on with you. So some sort of really important information is wanting to be connected to you via your high priestess archetype. It's wanting to speak to you and tell you something, maybe as a spirit guide or something like that. But through meditation, you'll have the answer. You may not receive the actual answer right during meditation, but meditation will allow yourself to be open, receptive. You could receive a message and not actually get it until later in the day. But because you took the time to rest your mind and get into that frequency, you were able to receive it. So I feel like this is really connected to a very strong spirit guide of yours. Maybe your higher self. Getting the message to Leo. I heard getting the message to Leo. I heard Breakdown, the song Breakdown by Guns N' Roses, where somebody's fed up with it all. Okay, the song is like about him being like just fed up with everything. He's gonna have a breakdown. But in the most constructive way possible, by listening to a song, right? By listening to a song or some type of joy, playful like activity that allows you to move through some heavy energy. There's something here that's pushing this as to why Leo would be that determined. That's why. 5 of Swords. There's some negative or toxic energy around, and you don't want to be around it. That's a very simple answer there. Very simple. And because you love yourself, you're going to be now more than ever determined to change the situation. But as you do this, as you make some kind of very determined, focused effort, the divine is helping you, and they're trying to let you know that something gets lined up with you on that path, on that exact path that you're now focused on getting on. It's there for you on that path. And it might be a conjunction, and maybe a real love situation coming in, Two of Cups, or a very significant partnership, somebody that can really be your spark of light, and you that. Okay, tell me about the Tower. Whoa. Seven of Cups. I did see the Devil too. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. The Tower. The Cups. The Tower. Okay. Possibly an issue with some sort of escapism, or feeling like a feeling, it may be that for a while we may have been in a headspace of being emotionally feeling kind of confused, or not knowing what to think or feel. I don't know. It can have to do with escapism and your choices. And you could be changing that. You could be choosing more wisely and bringing down anything that has developed or built resonance in your life that was leading to you not thinking or feeling something clearly for what it was. Tell me more about Seven of Cups. It was altering your judgment for a while. Something that is changing. Something that you're breaking apart and dismantling in your own self and then bringing back together. It was something here that was affecting judgment and our choices. Yeah, choices. Two of Hazards, or Two of Pentacles. The balance that we had. It could be something that was affecting our finances, even with that. Another way that you could look at this, because not everybody's going to maybe resonate with that, is that it could be that we all have this then. It can mean several choices or options. But also a spirit plan that we may need to know. Like, it may be confusing to us. What are the, okay, if the Tower happens in my life, then what are the next steps, Spirit, I need to know? There's something here about that and the connection with why you feel uncertain about something actually happening for you, for the better. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a different deck to get a little bit more information here then. Tell me about their manifestation. False person in the reverse. It's kind of like stepping into our divine self. Seeing ourselves clearly. And what's possible. What we can create. Oh, wow. Sacrifice, down for the cause. Spirituality. Our faith. The cross. And the stars is your destiny. It's written in the stars. Also, there can be something here about having fame or recognition, just because that can mean that, but also the Castle card about getting recognition. It's about some sort of struggle that you've had to go through. It feels like it was a spiritual crisis. And then knowing that we are all, like, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that we can have faith, and trusting that we're always protected and guided onto that next new path, and that we're usually guided out of situations or experiences. But sometimes if we hold ourselves back, we could feel like we're living something that's not true to us. This is about getting back to your path, back to alignment. Back to alignment. Okay, so Spirit, tell me about the information, the Ace of Swords, and the determination here. Also, the Hermit is here. This has been they're saying this has been a really long road, and something has been very hard, difficult, even difficult for you to disengage from, I feel like. So it has been a long road, but now there is change. So that should be the faith that knows this change is coming. So that's the kind of information that you're going to get. Tell me about the sun and the book. Yeah, so the sun, we have it looks like 3 suns here, all really guiding you, putting you in your power. Something maybe very significant about what's to occur or happen during Leo season. Also, the book can represent a secret, something that's been kept from you. Something to do about needing sanctuary, your private space, the parlor, or maybe a new place of residence for yourself. The key, something gets unlocked here. Some kind of information. It's big. 3311, master numbers, right? So wealth is on the bottom, and then the key. This change that you're going to make, the determination, the focus, the actually looking at, reflecting back on ourselves, our path, and doing what is best for us. Any kind of change, any kind of self-improvement that you're making with yourself is going to unlock something and get you more lined up for the pleasures in life, the Venus, the wealth, something about this change and this self-improvement in the long road that is taking you to get here is finally ready. Like you're finally ready to face something. It holds the key to your success, this change. And you will be so happy that you've made some sort of change, is what they're saying. I've got some other weird card in here. This is so strange. I just used this. I didn't see it in there before. A judgment has been made. Adjudication. A judgment has been made. A big decision. Well, you can't just do that, Kim, and then stop. Let's use the Kipper deck since that's the Kipper deck. What is the big decision or judgment? Something to do with family or being with people that you feel recognized, seen, appreciated. And a cat confirmation. And a big gift. There's something here also about maybe even being able to mend or fix some sort of family issue that's been going on. A message of concern. So there is message, change, message of concern. What's the message about? Marriage. Expectation. So, this thing that you're like uncertain about, right? Coming into your life. Maybe it's meeting the one. Maybe it's having a real commitment or some type of like legality. Maybe it's a contract being drawn up for business or something. Some kind of message. I think they're saying you should expect a message and some rather interesting news about a connection. It feels very divine. It might be some sort of key that you're looking for here or needing to know information about. Okay, 30 with I'm imaginative. 17, the star card, 17, and 4. Aries might be significant. Aquarius might be significant here too. But 4 says you bring stability and rationality to any situation. You are the rock, and your hard work and perseverance make you a dependable friend, partner, and colleague. I am stable. 17, the quality of work that you produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious, capable of performing with every step of the way, efficiency, focus, and skill. I am independent. So a little bit of a long message today, but that's what I have for you. If you need a private reading, the information's in the description box below. Thank you so much, by the way, for the support for my private readings. It's been awesome lately, and I'm sending you love and light. Bye.